Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hannah. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
And I made up
And then the station goes, look at the K's off.
Yeah. Just another Haunting. I'm sorry.
Hi, Calvin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Not too bad.
It's really fucked up that he just interrupted my solo.
You know
white
what,
snare
Aaron?
solo.
I didn't say a word.
No one cares.
I didn't
It
say a
was
word.
me. I interrupted.
Okay, Sam did. All right, excuse me. Yeah,
He
Calvin,
did.
let's
He did just come in smiling.
Yes, he did.
He
He's
did.
happy.
That was
Happy.
perfect.
Dude, I love it, man. We got happy people. I like happy people. Shiny, happy.
Peace.
Shining happy people. Oh yeah.
Now he's going to sing REM. He's just been singing, like over-singing me, because I was trying to sing too. But...
Well, Sam, let's give you the mic. Why don't you go ahead and sing a song
I'm
for
good.
us today?
I'm good.
You're good now?
Yeah.
Good. Chuck, you got a song you want to sing?
Oh, what do you want to hear?
Pick one.
Well, a little 80s rap.
Give me 5 seconds of something.
80s rap, yes, please.
5 seconds of something.
80s rap.
What do we got?
Let's go.
I can only imagine. Or how about if I just bust out a Christmas song in the middle of a fucking spring? How does that sound? That sounds like some weird, creepy ass shit.
That
You
is-
know, Santa Claus is coming to town, but watch out for that Satan motherfucker. 'Cause
Bad
he's gonna
idea.
mess with everyone.
That was a bad idea. Anyway.
I don't know where I put it on my water bottle. I don't know where I put it. Hang on a second.
I don't know, but you're breaking up. You're
Yeah,
all
you're all
over the
kinda
place.
weird and shit.
This is all
Where
bad.
are you at?
And it's got like Joe Bob's internet right now, so it's crazy. Oh man. Well, hi.
Welcome to Around the Reel.
Yeah, Calvin. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
We
buddy.
just kind of
Okay.
roll into
Welcome to
it.
Around the Reel.
That's right.
We're a bunch of crazies. We just roll right into
We do our
it.
shit.
No, that's good. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. We
It's
just,
more authentic.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
it's like you just came over, you know, like knock on the door and we open it and like,
And
oh,
we're like,
Calvin,
"Hi,
what's up? Come on
Calvin,
in, bro.
hey."
And now you're
Right,
here.
yeah.
That's
Boom.
it. That's our show. That's our fucking show.
That's our show.
That's the way to do things like this. Just like don't prepare anything.
Honestly.
You know, you should. Yeah, I think that people can sniff out when you're being fake.
Oh, totally.
When you come in with some like scripted,
Yeah.
you know, that's why people
Sometimes-
don't like politicians.
Mhm.
Exactly. Sometimes people are like, do you have questions prepared for me? And we're like, nope.
Not at all.
Hell
we
no.
do not.
Oh yeah, I never know what I'm gonna say.
Here's the
Right.
questionnaire. Can you be on the show?
Pretty much that's
Okay,
it.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
question we've really got for you. And you go,
Yeah.
yeah, sweet. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll prepare a game. That's like the only preparation.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, in honor of Pillow Party Massacre,
Oh.
I have a game.
Oh.
You
Awesome.
ready for it, Calvin?
And we're
Yeah,
we
yeah.
gonna stop. We just
Oh.
gonna jump off in a game.
Let's roll
I'm
right into it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm
Okay,
always
wait a second.
ready.
Now, for all the listening audience out there, I have to prepare you. Aaron and I really suck at these, but we're going to try anyway because we're on the show and it's our job.
That's true.
Okay.
We're gonna-
All right.
They do suck.
And Calvin goes first.
Yeah.
So
you're
whatever
always
question
first.
he's first because
Guest is
he's a
always
guest.
first.
Good, yeah. 'cause
Okay.
Then he
Can I
look,
make a request?
He can look like a schmuck before I do. Okay.
What kind
Yeah.
of a request is it? Depends.
If he gets going back and watching Tyler's show recently, if he gets the answer right, can we wait until everyone gets a chance to answer before you just jump all over the excitement of the guest being right? 'Cause,
All
you know,
right.
ooh, yes.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So
Fine.
if
You
Calvin
gotta
gets it
skew
right,
our
we don't want to know.
bullshit.
Yeah.
This
All
is
right,
a
fine.
trivia game.
It's
Well,
something.
it's going to be a game in honor of Pillow Party Massacre. So,
Mm.
what do you think
Okay.
game that would be?
Truth or dare.
Kiss, Marry, Kill. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But,
here we
Yeah.
but Truth or Dare was the other
But-
option.
But there's a correct answer to Kiss, Marry, Kill.
No, there's not.
There
No,
is.
Chuck-
there
I
is.
didn't know what
just
game we
didn't
were
know
playing,
what
to be
game
fair,
we were
because it's not scripted.
Yeah.
We
That's
didn't
true.
know what game
That's
we were
true.
playing.
But even though there isn't a real answer, I will be right. So let's just go with that.
Anyway. I'm going to be really nice to you guys today.
Okay, let's go.
I'm going to be really nice, and I'm going to give you all girl options.
Ooh.
Isn't that cool?
I love
Real
Because usually I give you a bunch of dudes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, kiss one, marry one, and kill one, guys.
Yeah, normally that's
Yeah.
what it is, and that would be.
I'm
Bunch
gonna
of
give you-
dudes or demons. Yeah,
I'm going to
thanks.
give you all girls.
Okay, let's go.
Isn't that
Okay.
nice? Okay. So are we ready?
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Calvin,
All right.
you feeling it? All right.
I don't know. She's smiling way too much to be giving us girls.
I know.
I'm giving you girls. The first
Oh,
one's going to be
okay.
Charlie's Angels.
Ooh.
Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, and Cameron Diaz.
Kiss,
Go.
Mary, kill.
Okay. I go first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're first.
Marry Lucy Liu.
Mhm.
Kiss Drew Barrymore and kill Cameron Diaz.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. I'm shocked by your answers.
The kiss was a tough one, but I mean, like, honestly, right now, if someone said, you can kiss Cameron Diaz or Drew Barrymore, I think I would have to go with Drew Barrymore.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Fair.
Okay. Fair enough.
I feel it. All right.
All right.
Who's next?
Kiss,
Chuck, you
Mary, kill.
I'm always ready.
Go for it.
Okay. So kiss Lucy Liu, marry Drew Barrymore, and kill Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
Why does
Yeah,
everyone
because-
want to kill Cameron
I mean,
Diaz?
we grew up with Drew Barrymore. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw Drew Barrymore on the big screen when I was a little kid, and I've been growing up with her ever since.
And
So
the
that's
reason
like
for
3
the
years.
Lucy Liu, she's
That's why I
just
married
hot.
her.
She's just
But,
hot.
but I would kiss Lucy. Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah,
And
she's hot.
she's the kind of person that would grab you and want to kiss you. But Cameron
Yeah.
Diaz, she's easy to kill because a conversation with her for more than 20 minutes would probably drive me fucking bonkers.
All right.
Yeah, I would definitely marry Lucy Liu.
By the way,
because I
Cameron, when
think
you come
that-
on the show next week, please don't say anything bad.
Yeah. Lucy Liu seems like a good
Wife
partnership.
material.
Yeah. She seems
Alright.
like good wife material to
Fair.
me. And I don't think that Drew Barrymore is. She was like partying when she was like 12 with Billy Idol and everybody else.
Oh,
And like,
Yeah, but she could relapse
Who
any
wasn't?
moment.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it, Calvin. I get it.
Yeah, I'm a little. Even ex-addicts, like I don't mean to pass any judgment. I would be a little weary.
You're a
It's
little more.
basketball.
If you're gonna do it, this show's the place to do it on.
on.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, we pass judgment on this show all the time.
Oh,
Good.
everything.
Okay.
All right,
Good.
Aaron, pass
right.
some judgment here.
Yeah.
What's the correct answer,
I'll be surprising you guys with this.
Oh,
'Cause,
really?
Yeah. I'll start with killing. I'd kill Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
I would actually kill her.
I knew it wouldn't be Lucy Liu because you love the
Well, hold on. I'm
Asians.
not fucking done yet. You just wait. No. Yeah, Drew Barrymore would have to go. I don't like her daytime TV show. I never have. It's too cheesy. She's got to go.
yeah.
She's
I
got to
love
go.
it.
She's got to go.
Yeah.
I like her as an actress, and I think she's great in Charlie's Angels.
Stop! You're so rude.
She's
See,
gone. She's
that
gone.
just says how mean
But-
you are.
But Calvin actually pointed out another fact with the whole partying thing. Yeah, if she relapses, that's another reason. Get her out of it. No, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to who we kiss now. Now, I've never been with an Asian person, and I do like
But he
them.
wants to so bad.
But I would kiss an Asian, but I would not marry an Asian.
Oh, stop.
I would not. She scares me. I think having a Japanese wife, she would fuck your shit up. She's very
And
dominant.
if she wouldn't, her mom would.
Yeah, you got to do whatever she
Why? 'Cause
says, no
she's
matter
kung
what.
fu fighting.
Yeah, and if she don't do what she says, she's like, "Hoo-yay!" and you're fucked. I'm not doing that. So I would kiss her, and then I would split.
I do got to jump in here as someone who is a quarter Japanese.
Oh,
who
shit.
has an who has an obachan, who has
Hey.
a late grandma. Yeah, very much so.
Very much agree.
Yeah, I mean, very, very sweet. Will do anything for you.
But
food
don't
all the
mess
time.
with
But
them.
if you fuck up,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no such thing as like child abuse.
You know what I mean?
I'm convinced. I'm convinced. It's just
It's
a
just
whack.
discipline.
Oh, it's just a whack
It's bad.
in
They're
the back
badass.
of the head.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
they're badass.
Yeah.
But you're marrying
Cameron Diaz all day long, yeah. And you know why? Because I love her in the second one. She's dancing and she goes over the couch. That's the only reason.
Oh, for
That's the only reason.
sakes,
I love
are you
that. I love that scene.
All right.
Yeah, love it.
Okay.
Love it. And her bubbliness and how stupid she acts. And then there's something about Mary. Loved her in that with the cum in her
Oh,
hair.
with the cum in her
It's
hair,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. I'd love
So
to do
since
that.
she's used to the look, then you're good
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. All day long. How about
Wow.
that, Sam?
You're a douche. You're a douche.
Drew, I believe in your recovery. Good job, and I think that you'd make a great match. So,
great.
Drew Barrymore.
Yep, there we go.
Well, does
Your
anyone want to know
talk
what
show,
I
I
would
agree,
do?
is not the best thing on the planet, but
True that.
Who wants to know what I would do?
Yeah, Sam.
Well,
out of-
you
out-
just do
out of
them all,
The
wouldn't you?
females, you love girls. Which one would you want to do anyway?
Well, yeah, but this isn't kiss fuck Kel. This is that's not.
Well, if you're marrying him, you're pretty much gonna hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay,
fuck him,
anyway.
right? Okay. All right.
Anyway.
Go for it.
All right. I am gonna marry Drew Barrymore. I'm gonna kiss Lucy Liu, and I'm gonna kill Cameron Diaz like everyone else except
Man.
for Aaron.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna kill your wife, Aaron.
Wow. Jesus. That's all right.
Because
Make
Sam
sure-
don't share, bitch.
Just make sure I get her hair sticky first before you do it. Then we'll be fine.
Alrighty then, on to the next one.
Fair enough.
Are you guys ready? So now I'm gonna throw you for a loop, and I'm gonna give you some serial killers:
Oh.
Okay.
Eileen Wuornos, Calamity Jane, and Lorena Bobbitt.
Ooh.
Okay, really quick though for the audience, who did what, so they know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, Lorena Bobbitt didn't kill anybody. She
Well,
just-
no, but
You
she
bet
cut
that
off some
motherfucker wishes he was
penis.
dead.
She.
Yeah. Yeah.
But but girls love her because she did what some of us all want to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I shouldn't say serial killers. I should say some hard-ass women.
Controversial women.
Some hard-ass
Controversial.
women.
A little controversy there.
Okay, so let's just say some gangsters. Some
Okay.
gangster
Yeah,
women. We'll
yeah.
say gangster women.
Okay.
Some gangster women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Calamity Jane, Eileen Wuornos, and Lorena Bobbitt.
Okay. Am I still first?
You are
You are
first.
You're always first.
Well, yeah. Kill Bobbitt for sure. Just out of principle. I mean, she's just gone.
All right. She's out.
You know, I feel bad for Eileen Wuornos. I always
That's it.
have.
Yeah.
Okay.
She had a terrible childhood. I consider myself kind of a nice person, so I don't know. I feel like Eileen Wuornos could have had a better. I don't think she would be a serial killer if she was
You
with
would
me.
give her
So
a
I'm gonna
better
go with-
life?
Yeah. And then I guess I'll kiss Calamity Jane. To be honest, I don't know a ton about Calamity Jane.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I don't either, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't?
No, I don't remember
Oh,
who
you
she
guys.
is.
Okay, so you guys need to learn a lot about Calamity Jane because she is really
Well,
the
who the fuck is
gangsterest
she?
of
Do you
all
know?
gangsters.
Do you know, or do we have to Google it right
Yeah,
now?
Yeah.
She's Calamity Jane. She was the Wild Bill Hickok's sidekick. She was
Yeah.
she was killing people.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
sharp
okay.
knives.
In the Wild
Okay.
West.
Yeah,
You know?
okay, yep. And
So
then I'm
am I
right.
next?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
next. Yep.
Okay, kiss, marry, kill. So I would kill Eileen Wuornos. Sorry, just because you bitch gotta go. I don't care.
Okay,
I
don't
don't
say
care
because
if you-
she's ugly.
she said-
Because
What's that?
Don't say because she's ugly. Because that's just
I didn't say 'cause she's ugly.
cliche.
As I appreciate what Calvin's saying about her past, her childhood and stuff, but she still has some massive trauma
Okay,
issues and stuff. And as much as I can appreciate really good therapy and spend a lot of money on it, and indeed, there ain't enough therapy to fix that shit. And I like to be alive. And so that being said, I'd have to kiss Bobbitt out of respect, just like "Mwah, you dealt with some bullshit and you got to go. And I would have to marry Calamity Jane because at least that bitch would have my back and can shoot somebody coming in the front door.
True that.
Yeah, and I'm right with Chuck on that.
Oh, you
Yep,
agree?
Yep, all the way across the board.
Okay.
But the only thing
Wow.
I will say is Eileen Wuornos.
Yeah.
If we had the actress playing her in the film, no problem. Yeah, but the real one, no, bro, I can't do that. She's worn the fuck out.
Calamity Jane isn't a looker either.
No, she's not.
Yeah, but there's
She's
something
not.
about the bitch with the pistols and riding off into the sunset.
They're the same person. They're the same person,
no,
except
there's
for
a-
a different era.
But there's
Yes,
a difference
thank you,
between
Calvin.
being in the old west and the frontier and 8th
Not when
Street.
you're in the
I
Old
can't do
West.
8th Street. You know what I mean?
But
Or
she
7th
also
Street.
helped Wild Bill write his stories.
Oh,
so she's
no.
a storyteller. So we're going to have to
Storyteller. Yeah, we can make some badass
But
movies.
wait a minute. Now, Calvin, you were a guest on our show, and I hate to throw you under the bus, but I'm
Yep.
driving, motherfucker.
Let's do it.
You just said that you didn't want to marry Drew Barrymore because of her bad things that she did in the past, and you're afraid she'd relapse.
But
What
you
the
feel
fuck do you
bad
think
for
Eileen was doing?
Eileen Wuornos?
Well, I think you're comparing apples to bowling balls there because
Oh,
we were
yes.
talking about Cameron Diaz as the other options. Now we're talking about the girl who castrated someone because he cheated on her. Like, I'm sorry, but they can't go there. Can't go there. Everybody gets cheated on. Come on. Now.
He makes a
Let's
good point
not-
because
let's not pretend.
How nervous would you be kissing that bitch? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Bob, you
she's
better-
gone.
If you don't
She's
kiss
gone.
her right, dude, I'm fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's
Yeah,
scary.
honey.
Yeah, that's scary.
Just make
All
sure
right.
there's
Also,
nothing in 'em.
she's gonna be like super paranoid about you cheating on her. She's like the type of person who's like, "Give me your phone. Let me check your phone."
Well,
Nope.
Remember,
Nope.
she was just a kiss.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, it's still
you know,
scary.
Eileen Wuornos is like, she had a bad childhood. She's just happy that like you like her.
You know what? He may be right. He may be right. If you give her a
that's
little
so
love,
sad.
what if she turned it all around?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I just can't get over her looks, though, bro.
No, well,
Wait,
Calamity
after going-
Jane, none of them are. I mean,
Yeah, none of them really are good lookers.
Bobbit is the looker.
Yeah.
I know, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll switch it up and go with Bobbit. I don't know. I'm superficial
Yeah.
that way. So.
Oh yeah, you are.
Just take the chance. Just put my dick on the fucking table and just
Yeah,
roll
I'm
the
not.
dice.
I'm just not. I don't bet on that one.
I don't blame you.
Thank you, because it doesn't last forever,
No,
right?
it
Yeah.
doesn't. No, it doesn't. All right.
You
well,
guys are freaking funny. I'm sorry, but
Oh,
that was funny.
It's a great game.
All right, Sam, what do you got?
Yeah. Who would
Oh.
you do? Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You don't
Oh,
have to
you're
worry
gonna
about
ask me?
Bobbit chopping off your.
Okay. No, I don't because
No.
I don't have one.
Okay. Yeah. Finally, you admit it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna kiss Calamity Jane, and I'm gonna kill Eileen. I think.
Yeah, because
Sorry, Eileen,
She's
but,
not.
you
She's
know,
not a real looker.
Well, it's not about the looks, Aaron. You douche.
Kiss, marry, kill.
Anyway,
What
that's
does
my
young
answer.
Eileen Wuornos look like?
Oh,
I
let's
don't know.
find out.
You should look.
Ooh, I want to know.
Yeah, let me
Google
know.
that.
Yeah, if she's hot, I'll change it up. Maybe she was before she started
my
hooking. You know,
God.
she was hooking hard.
No, not really.
Oh, okay,
No,
great. Yeah,
no,
I didn't
okay.
think so. That's too bad.
Oh, well, I mean, when she was like 18, 19. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
it's doable.
Was she bad or no?
No, I mean, not like
Right. Not like Cameron Diaz. or
not
anything,
beautiful, but
but- okay, fair enough.
you just got to
Was
get
she
her
like
at the
plain
right
Jane?
time.
Mhm.
Plain Jane kind of.
Yeah,
Okay.
very much so. Kind of
Yeah.
Midwest.
What do you call those, Aaron?
Oh, they're oh shit.
You
Oh,
forget?
granola.
Granola.
Yeah, granola.
Yeah,
Calls them
yeah,
granola,
very,
yeah.
very much so.
All right. Well. All right. Well, thank you, Sam, for the game.
Oh yeah, you're
Kiss,
so welcome.
marry, kill.
Let's
I'm like
get on.
breaking
to-
the ice.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right.
That's
Break
right.
that ice.
That's
I like to
right.
break that ice good.
That was the first thing she said last night when we were watching your movie, buddy. And she was like, "Oh, we got to play one of those games on the show."
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was
yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
decide too. I was like, truth or dare or kiss, marry, kill.
Yeah. Good
Kiss,
one.
marry, kill is one we play. Truth or dare we've never played before, so
No,
Yeah,
I'd have to prepare for that one.
yeah.
that's all right. That's all right. Well, anyway, welcome, Calvin. Thanks for
Welcome
joining us.
Thank
to
you.
our show.
Well,
Thank you.
let's just get it
Greetings.
started off, man. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and tell them
Let
what
us
you
know
do,
who you
man?
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Calvin McCarthy. I'm I work in the film industry. I started when I was a teenager. Started on this stage, and when I was 16, I got my first role in a feature film called The Adults in the Room. That actually did pretty well. Kept acting for a number of years until, first and foremost, I'm a huge horror movie fan. I mean, that's been my life before getting into acting.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to work in horror films. I have a huge physical media collection that takes up a whole room in my house, and I just I was kind of disappointed with the lack of types of films that were being made, mostly campy horror films. So
Mhm.
I went to film school, and
You
Kinda
did.
made it my-
Where'd you go
my-
to film school at?
I went to the Northwest Film Center through
Oh,
Portland
okay.
State University.
Nice.
Cool.
And yeah, kind of just really started figuring out like how to make a movie.
You're kind of a jack
And-
of all trades in the movie industry. You can do pretty much most things.
Yeah, I mean, I get hired, as a camera operator. I work for a couple of different companies, and yeah, I mean, I just keep myself busy. But my main passion is, making my own films, writing and
Yeah.
directing, working as an editor, and just trying to build up like a little cult classic empire. See if it's actually doable.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
basically who I am.
All right.
I love
all
everything.
right.
That's
well, we
badass,
love
buddy.
everything about you.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
awesome
it's
because
fucking
you're
great.
right up
Yeah.
our alley.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
I
you.
mean, your philosophy is exactly what we've been doing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
let's build a collection of films and get them out there, tell these stories, do what you love, and make some money at it, and keep doing it.
Not necessarily horror,
Yeah.
but the horror industry is definitely extremely interesting and they're very loyal, all the fans.
Very,
and so and they're very forgiving, so if you make mistakes, it's like they don't really fault you. They don't fault you as much for it as other genres, I guess. But so the horror industry is very cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool. They're very loving family.
They do. What's your perception of the horror community so far as you've been doing these films that you've created?
Well, I mean, I've been a part of the horror community since I was a kid. You know, I've participated in forums and joined Facebook groups before I even started acting. So, you know, it's something that I've been heavily entrenched in and doing like cons and meeting kind of some of those like C-list celebrities at conventions and stuff like that for years. So, I mean, I always consider myself to be like part of the community first and a filmmaker second. They're interesting. I mean, you know, they are also pretty harsh, but they also enjoy a bad movie the same way that they enjoy a good movie, which is nice. It's kind of like there's this other way in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we go to festivals or conventions, like we were just at Crypticon Seattle, and you know, I kind of take the actors around. You've interviewed some of them, like John Megison.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always kind of take them over to that section where it's like, you know, the lady from Halloween 5 is signing autographs still.
Right.
You go, this is why you want to be here, because it's like there's another way in other than, you know, getting a commercial job that leads to an episode on a Netflix show that may lead to something else, and you can be critically acclaimed. Maybe you can achieve some sort of like cult status.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I totally see that.
Yeah,
and that's
I
fun.
see it,
I like what you were saying too about like you've been a part of the community and you're just a filmmaker too. You know, that's cool.
Right.
Because we're just the opposite. Like we love horror too. We've been watching it for fucking ever, you know. And our horrorverse is a part of that. That's that nostalgia that we're creating. But at the same time, we don't know shit about the horror community. We don't go to horror cons. We don't go to fucking any of the podcasts. I think we've been on one so far that we did. And we're like, we should probably try to reach out to the horror community and let them know what we're doing. You know, that's the hard part, because it's something that's different for us, you know.
Yeah.
We've seen everything. We love it, but
we love it.
We've
Yeah,
never got a part of the community.
We're paying tribute to all the old nostalgic horror stuff, but we just don't know the community.
Not at all.
Not really.
We suck that way.
Like last weekend, we could have gone to Crypticon.
Yeah.
Could have.
But instead, we shot the next episode of our horrorverse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like,
right during
okay,
that
let's just
weekend.
keep the content going.
Yeah, and we had no idea Crypticon was even that weekend when we said that. That's what's funny. And everybody's like, "Fuck, I wanted to be there," but you know, Crypticon. I'm like, "Well, that's a fuck, bitch." That sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it.
It's a good place for networking because it's funny until you know, reviewers get their hands on it, you know, and indie films, like I understand, I kind of like laugh with some of the bad reviews, but you know, I recognize that indie films are just, it's too fun to like not make fun of them. Like I totally get that, but until that point, they're very supportive. Like the horror community really wants to see. It's very much like an underdog kind of genre, and I don't feel like that happens a lot with other genres. You know?
I agree.
Right.
I agree. They
There's
root
a
for,
place
they root
for
for you.
There's a place for everyone. There's a place, even, you know, if you're doing bad or whatever you want to call it, not bad, but you know what I'm saying. Like if you're doing campy, you're doing campy stuff, you know, there's a place for everyone in the horror world.
There is.
Yeah. And, you know, I always, you know, my philosophy is just to always like respond very nicely when people give you criticism, take it, you know, just kind of say like, hey, you know, kind of like Ed Wood, right? You know, the next one's going to be worst movie you ever saw. Well, the next one's going to be better, kind of a thing. And horror fans will like switch on a dime and then start rooting for you. And I've had so many like reviewers or people that just like comment on YouTube or Amazon, And I always try to comment back, but my thing is just to always be really nice and say, oh, well, thank you for watching anyway, and check out, make fun of some of our other stuff.
Yeah.
And then,
go make fun of everything.
Exactly.
Everything.
And then they kind of start like rooting for you.
Right.
They kind of start going, oh, you know what? This guy's like an underdog. I get it. He's working with like no money,
no budget.
Right,
for sure. We know all
and,
about that.
and they want to see you succeed. It's only when you like fight against the pushback.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually,
100%.
I think that if you support your haters, they become supporters.
Well, at least they watched the fucker. They watched it. They gave it a shot.
They did,
Yeah, and I got no problem with that.
It's the ones that have never watched it that comment like 2 hours after an hour after you put your movie up, and you're out, and your movie's 2 hours.
Yeah, and it's not even. You're like, you didn't even watch it, fucker.
You didn't have time.
But no, that's good, man, Calvin. That's exactly how you need to do it. I've been doing the same thing with our stuff, and I couldn't agree with you more, because I think that just it validates you as an artist. It shows that you've got thick skin, and they like that.
Yeah, I came from the theater, so I have really thick skin. And even yesterday I worked for a company called Portland Drone as a gimbal tech, and I was working with one of the drone operators yesterday, and he's like, we're going over all this stuff because we have this shoot together and we haven't really worked together very much. And he's like, oh, sorry if I get testy. I'm like, I have very, very thick skin. Like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. There are people online that want to destroy my soul. There's nothing you're gonna say.
You're like, you can't be that bad.
Yeah, you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Pretty good at just like, okay, taking it for what it is.
Well, that's
good, man. That is so good. Like, that's the survival mode that you need to be in, honestly. And I'm the worst of the group of us. I'm the worst. I am so sensitive. I will cry. I do not handle the criticism very well.
Yeah, you have a hard time with it.
I have a tough time because
Yeah.
I want everyone to like me. So if someone doesn't like something I did or something I made or anything, I don't react to that well. I cry.
Yeah.
I'm super sensitive, so I'm not the one.
But at least you still have the balls to make your documentaries. That's
True.
the cool
I mean,
thing.
I'll
You
still make
got
them
the balls
anyway.
to do it, so that's dope.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all it takes.
One of the fun ones I like for ours is because, with so much of our horrorverse content being on YouTube, people are making comments as they're watching.
Yeah.
Right.
It's one of those things where it's like, 3 hours later, you see the comments come through. It's like, oh, I wish I could have been on with them while they were talking and watching
Right.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun.
It is
I
fun.
think it's fun to engage. Whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. It's just that, having that engagement, you've got people that are finding your work and they're following it, and they took their fucking time to watch it. So, it's those haters that are haters. There's always going to be a group of them. But, when you legitimately get somebody goes, hey, that's not a bad film. It's not the greatest, but, it's all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm good with that. And thanks for watching it. So I'm good.
But honestly,
Yeah.
just the fact that they're watching it, no matter what bad shit they say, no matter what they say, they watched it.
Right.
Right.
So they gave you a view of your movie. And so that's great in and of itself.
And
so
took their
there's
time.
a lot of forgiving that you can do for someone that watched it, even if they're harsh and they say and they talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
At least they watched your shit.
That's right.
And that's a view that you got from them for it. So
I think it's everything.
honestly, it is. It is, because every view counts and every view matters, and every time someone watches it, and especially even if they think it's so bad, they'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if
they'll tell
anyone's...
other people, and then other people will watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if anyone's a sports fan, but I always think of it as like a lot of those people, and this is actually me being mean, which I usually never show my hand like this, but I always think of those people as like, I'm the worst player on the bench, but those guys are in the stands.
Right.
So they're always like, oh, Calvin can't play. It's like, well,
Can
I'm
you?
on the team. I'm getting paid to do this. I have a contract, so I mean, clearly I can play.
Right. You're like that 6-man coming off the bench. No joke. I love it.
Yeah.
No, but that's,
I'm
that's the right way to look at things. That is a creative way to look at things. And that matters. I mean, if I could look at things that way, it would help me a lot with my crying.
And that's what we're trying to help you with. But that's the thing, you know, you're out there making this stuff. You're out here making this stuff, Calvin, you know. So you're doing the job.
The work.
You were doing what you love to do. You're telling the stories you want to tell. You're making money out of it. Who gives a shit what anybody thinks?
Who cares?
A little bit.
You know the audience is out there. Yeah, the audience is out there, and you know what audience you're looking for. So that's the key, you know. And you know there's people out there doing it. You've been a horror fan your whole life, you said. You know which movies you like. We've all watched a horror movie that we laughed at and goes, oh, God, this is terrible. But we watched the whole fucking thing. And then there's ones that surprise you, and you're like, holy shit, that's actually really fucking good. And you talk about that, and then it just grows from there. We've all done it. We've all done it. So that's what I love about the horror genre. It does have that, like what Sam was talking about, that forgiveness. And yet there's that secondary thing where even if it's really bad, it doesn't matter.
No.
You know, it's still entertaining. I mean, we talk about that shit all the time, some of the movies we've seen, you know, and you're like, how did that make so much money? Well, everybody talked about it because it's so crazy. It's so bad and so crazy and yet so much fun.
What one were we talking about? The one with the, what is it called? The centipede one or something.
Human Centipede?
Was it human?
Human Centipede.
I can't
and we were talking about how, but... I mean, it's so bad, but it's so good because it's so bad.
I mean, basically, that was the point, you know, that it made all of this money. It's not, you know, not a great movie. It was made for, you know, probably twice the budget of what we get from that company. But it made, I think that it ended up making like $2 million and got like a limited theatrical run.
Which is crazy.
And did really well. And, you know, it's, like I said, you know, bad food is bad, bad music is bad, but a bad movie isn't always bad. People love a bad movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
no, I love that. I actually love what you said.
Yeah, he makes a great point. Great point.
That is a great point.
Now, you know, and here we are talking about bad movies, but your movie's not bad.
No.
So I wanted to talk about your...
Yeah, you don't make bad
movies.
movies.
No. Pillow Party is fun.
It's good.
That's a lot of fun, dude. That is a very nostalgic fucking old school slasher film. I enjoyed all of it. Sam and I watched it last night. We had a blast.
We loved it.
It was fun, man.
It's funny. It's like my least favorite out of the ones that we've done. Okay. Yeah, I think that I'm just not... I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, I definitely own a ton of slasher movies. I know everything about that little subgenre, but it's not quite my subgenre. So making it just kind of, I don't know, there was something about it that while editing it, especially, I was like, and it has nothing, the actors were great. I love the crew. I understand that, we get better with everyone, clearly. But yeah, there was something about it while editing the movie, where I just thought, okay, let's see what happens with this.
Okay, all right. No, I appreciate that. I think that honesty is super cool from you to say that, because we're all going to be like hardcore on our work, whatever we create, and we're our own worst critics. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Totally.
And that's fine. But to find an editor or filmmaker out there who's humble enough to say, I'm just going to keep getting better at this shit. This is what we made. Put it out there and see how it does. And we're going to just keep working from there.
Yeah.
It's fucking badass. So good for you.
Well,
I love that.
My dad's an artist as well. He's a graphic designer. I mean, that's what he does for money. But he's an artist as well. And he, when I first started acting, he used to always tell me this story that when he was in college and he was taking this painting class, and his professor said, you're going to make 100 shitty paintings that aren't worth anything before you make anything that's even halfway decent. So my dad's dorm room was just full of paintings, and he said, I'm just going to get through 100 paintings as fast as I can, just so I can get to a point where I make something halfway decent. And he always said, it's like it's failing forward. Like you're just going to fail. That's just what it is. It's like your first 100 movies might be shitty, and he's someone that I like really look up to. So I always have him watch my like the rough cuts and stuff. And he's an artist, so he's brutally honest. So like I just kind of have that attitude where like they're not as good as maybe they might be, but they'll get better, or I'm just like trying to get through it. I mean, I'm certainly not doing this because I think that tomorrow someone's gonna say, oh my god, he's Peter Jackson, we just need to give him,
but you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. So
but that's just like it's not what I'm if that happened, well, fuck, that would be great.
Right.
That would be awesome. But that's not really what I'm after. So, I'm just like making it, just like trying to do better, trying to get
100 paintings.
Okay.
Get a slight better review. Like I just don't want to regress. Is my biggest thing.
Right.
Go ahead.
I love the fact that you just used Peter Jackson as your reference, because when we were talking earlier, I kept thinking about the fact it's like movies that you're not sure if it's going to be any good. Peter Jackson, one of my favorite campy, over the top, what the fuck horror movies, Dead Alive.
Right, yeah. And Meet the Feebles.
And meets, and puts together the whole fucking, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings franchise.
Right.
King Kong, he does all these amazing things.
Right.
So but Peter Jackson, where did he start doing the same kind of stuff?
Yeah, and you never know, right? Because
you don't.
Because I used to review movies on YouTube, and I do horror films. I always try to just put like a positive spin on everything. But I did his other film, Meet the Feebles, that was like that, just this really low budget kind of, not really horror, but I think horror fans adopted that movie. There are certain movies like that. And like I always kind of think, back then you would have never known, right? You can't I think that it was it Bill Gates or Steve Jobs who said that like you can't connect dots looking forward. You can only connect those dots looking back.
Yeah.
So, it's like who would have known, right? Pillow Party, it's doing better than the last ones. I think that, I don't know if I'm allowed to officially say, but I think that it's going to get picked up for some physical media by a really cool company. It's kind of like a big step for us.
That's awesome.
But you never know, right?
Then it wouldn't have happened if you didn't keep making them. You know what I mean? You keep making movies, and that's the model that you're doing is cool. I mean, I think we ran into his movies on Ravenwood, if I remember right. Yeah.
Yeah, Haunting in Ravenwood.
Yeah. I haven't watched Conjuring yet.
Yeah.
And Pillow Party I did.
But we love the tribute you pay to other movies.
Yeah, I know what you're doing, Calvin. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Cool.
Let's throw that title in there to get people to search for that movie, and then we see your movie. That's badass.
It's
beautiful.
Well,
if that wasn't
fun.
Your madness,
it's beautiful, and you know it. I know
awesome.
I love. I also worked in sales for a very long time.
Okay, so you get it.
I kind of credit that to how I got ingratiated with Breaking Glass Pictures, which is a great company. And that was my initial pitch to them, because I made something for like $0, basically, called Don't Sleep. And I pitched it to them, and I was like, I want to work with you guys. I can make stuff really cheap. I feel like I know what the community wants. And we're like, okay, well, what would you do with this movie? And I said, well, Amityville is a public town. You can't copyright the name of a town. Let's just call the movie Amityville Poltergeist.
Right.
And I've kind of really tried to bring that into the fold. And I credit Breaking Glass because they are all on board with that and figuring out the best way to make something marketable. Our last movie that we did, I originally called Door to the Inferno, and then just working with their team, we come up with something, and we look at movies that are coming out and look at titles that you can't copyright, and we're like, all right, fuck it, let's call it Insidious Inferno.
Yep, I saw that in your post. beautiful.
Why not?
Why
You know?
not? Why the
Why
fuck
not?
not? Get eyeballs on it.
It doesn't bug me at all. And my favorite filmmakers are, you know, I love like the Italian '80s heyday of like when they were really bad about respecting international copyright laws.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what brought them their infamy. And you know, another thing that you don't get to choose what you're like remembered for or
You're
famous
right.
for.
Mhm.
Like if you know all the people at Crypticon, like I'm sure that they have all worked in a movie that they were like, this is gonna be my thing. Everyone's gonna remember me for this movie, and then it's like, no, it's Children of the Corn. You don't get to decide that. We get to decide that.
We were just talking
So-
about Children of the Corn. That's my favorite horror movie.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah.
what's so bad about me.
So, like, you know, yeah, I mean, if at the end of the day, if it's like, you know, if you get lucky enough to get remembered at all, and it's like, oh, this was the guy who, like, just kept stepping on the toes of, like, these bigger studios, then so be it. And to that credit, my, like, pipe dream goal is that maybe at some point, some studio like Blumhouse, right? They're just trying to retain all these copyrights with these titles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They just go, you know what? Fuck it. Like, just he's gonna make it anyway. He's gonna make a Conjuring movie anyway. Just like get this guy on a cheapo $900,000 contract and just have him retain the rights because he's gonna try and rip us off anyway.
Right?
Maybe I can get their attention.
Yeah.
I
never
think it's
know.
brilliant. I
You
think
never
it's brilliant.
know. It's honestly
It's a sales move.
It
It's
is.
a sales move.
I get it. I totally get it.
And what a cool like combination of things to be a salesperson and a filmmaker.
Yeah.
It's badass because it goes together.
Yeah,
Honestly.
it does. Hey, you know what's funny, Calvin? I'm a salesperson too, my whole life.
Yep,
Sam's
yep,
never
same.
said that to me, so congratulations that
Yeah.
she gives you credit for that.
Are you
Isn't that nice?
really?
Isn't that nice for me? Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
He's jealous. It's
yeah,
fine.
whatever. Always,
No,
always give the guest credit. I don't get shit.
It is a super underrated skill.
It
Like
is.
I
It
always
is.
tell people when they ask, like, "Oh, how did you get this deal?" or "How did you get money?"
Right.
I always say, like, go work in a shitty sales office.
You'll
It'll make
learn.
you
Yeah.
like not afraid to just like call people, not afraid to just kind of like,
Hey,
you know, you'll like learn like what tactic is best for you to try and sell yourself
yep.
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 and to sell your project
True.
instead of like putting on this like fake facade and writing
Yeah.
something up. It's like that
Exactly.
might not work for you.
But
you
don't
know?
be a bartender because
Exactly.
that doesn't count. That does not count.
Yeah.
You can sell booze to anybody.
Yeah, everybody will drink
That's
that. Yeah,
not
it's
fair.
Not the same. It's not the same kind of sales. Yeah.
It's not. No.
Yeah, if you could sell a vacuum cleaner instead of a White Russian, then yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're a salesperson, right?
Yeah, you're a salesperson. Yeah.
What did you sell? What type of sales were you in?
Oh
Aaron?
gosh, my
Oh,
lord!
cars?
I
All
real
kinds of
estate
things, real
for a
estate.
very long time.
That's tough.
Yeah, that one, and I sold cars for a while too.
Yeah, see, car sales would be one that I would be interested in getting into.
Oh God.
That would be.
He hated it.
It's so dirty.
I know.
It's dirty as fuck. And I went to a luxury car dealership, and I was excited because I thought they'd be like the Nordstroms.
Oh,
Oh,
don't
cars.
offend. Don't offend.
No,
Drew.
I'm not
Don't
going to say.
offend
I'm not
Drew
going to say
because-
anything. Drew, he sells cars, but he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shit they don't say to get the sale, and I don't sell that way. You know, I'm
For
pretty,
sure.
I'm pretty
couldn't
open
do
about
it.
why we do it. Even like Calvin just now. Yeah, I'm pretty much taking the titles of big movies and putting them on mine so that people search. I mean, he's open about it.
I feel ya.
He's not
I feel
lying.
ya.
Yeah, I can't do the dirt.
I worked
Be honest.
for a company that worked with car dealerships. Basically, I was like selling predatory loans. So I feel ya.
You know
like,
what I mean.
Okay.
Really, really dirty.
Yeah.
Like you go into it
I
and
thought
you
you
know
were going
it's
to say
like
extended warranties.
no, it's like these people. There's no way. Like I'm,
they can't
getting them
afford
the
this
worst
car.
deal.
Yeah, they can't afford
It's-
this car. And you
It's gonna
still
get
sell it.
repossessed,
It's
and we're
gross.
gonna sell this car again.
It's brutal,
Like-
right?
The
We know
closest
it.
I came was a
brutal.
wholesale assistant or a bartender. That's the closest to sales I've ever been.
It's such a dirty business. It's
Not
so
very
bad.
It is.
It's so bad. It's so bad. So I recommend don't sell cars unless you can fucking
Yeah.
swallow like the evil
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
going on, because they don't give a fuck about people.
The money was good. I mean,
Yeah.
every now and then I think, I'm like, oh, I'll go on like a vacation and, I don't make very much money at all doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God, I remember the days when I was just making like movies for fun on the weekends, but I had enough money to just like go on vacation
Yeah.
whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
And I had all this like PTO that I would save. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
You've never
At what
had that much
point?
money,
At
Aaron?
what point
No.
do I just like go big runs over? Let's go back to making some money.
Well, because you weren't happy, Cal.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, you weren't happy, and I'm with you on that. I still have a day job. I work for the state of Washington all week
nice.
long.
Nice.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
PTO.
good money.
I get all the stuff. Yeah, you make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, your time is gone, and you've got to
yeah.
hustle your ass off to continue doing this stuff, which does make you happy.
Yeah.
So that's that trade-off.
Yeah, I was like working 7 days a week when I
Yeah.
wanted to make a movie because it was like, just filming on the weekends.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's the only thing you can do when you have that job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm trying to come around. I'm trying hard. I'm hanging in there. But at the same time, it's
Yeah.
like if someone said, I will give you the same income that you make at your day job to make movies, I'm out.
Oh yeah.
I'm
yeah.
gone.
I mean,
You're
I took a
out
small
anyway.
fraction.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I take a hit. I don't give a fuck. I'd figure it out. What about your
Yeah.
benefits? Fuck the benefits. I don't care. I want to just
Yeah.
I want to
What
pay
are
my
the-
bills and make movies.
What are the benefits? Honestly, they're not really benefits.
I went to the chiropractor. I still got a $200 bill, Chuck.
Right.
How did
yeah.
I get a $200 bill? I'm supposed to have
Wait,
great state
What
insurance.
does Chuck have to do?
I don't
with
know.
that?
Chuck said, the state insurance is great. And then I went and I was
State
like,
insurance is great. I
Yeah,
don't know
they
if
gave me
it's
$15 copay. I was like,
is that
oh,
on the list of people you usually go to?
I was like, $15 copay. Okay, great. I paid at the thing. I thought it was done, Thought insurance would cover it. No, I got a bill for $200 for 2 sessions.
At least it wasn't
Fuck that
$2,000.
insurance. It's stupid.
But the chiropractor was good, right?
Oh, yeah, chiropractor was great. But I ain't going back. That's too expensive. Screw that. Crack my own neck. I'll watch a YouTube video. It'll be fun. I'll figure it out.
Just have Sam grab you.
Man. All right.
Yeah, I'm stronger than I look.
You are. It's a fun business, Calvin. I mean, how long you been making these movies? When did you start?
Well, I mean, like
besides
my first,
acting, I mean, when you made one, like your own film. Yeah.
my first like movies that are out. I mean, that's always been my big selling point, even back when I didn't have money. It's like I will find a way to get this picked up somewhere.
I love it.
Because I'll just call people. It's that sales thing. It's like I will just fucking call these offices and be like,
Mhm.
I've got something for you.
You don't give a shit.
Badass. I love it.
So like there's this site that's mostly on YouTube now called Kings of Horror. And they have like my old stuff, but it's like they're like barely a movie. It's like figuring out how to make it. But
Mhm.
I guess it's like 2015, 2016, something like that.
Okay.
I had been making a lot of shorts because shorts are obviously, you just need that weekend,
Mhm.
really to get something small together.
Yeah.
So I was doing that for a while. But just like recently, like being able to do it full time with also kind of getting hired as a hired gun on other projects. It's probably only been like three years,
Okay.
3.5 years.
And how many full features do you have out right now?
I mean, everything together, or like even the old ones.
Well, that's just the ones that you put out, that you made, that you were passionate about. Yes.
I mean, if you go back to like the old ones, like everything that's out, I think there's, I don't know, probably there's probably 10.
That's
Probably
awesome.
10.
That's fucking great.
That is
No,
great.
and that's the point I wanted to
Great.
make. I mean,
That's
you're
great.
hustling. You're making these fucking things. You're getting them done and you're getting them out.
Yep.
Well, we crank them.
Yeah.
We like full throttle. I have a fear of like, it's also like a sales thing. It's like, if I'm not doing something, they're gonna think like, oh, he must have died or something, you know. So it's like you gotta just like keep them on the horn, you know. There's always something. So
in the works.
We kind of have like this revolving door of like everybody kind of like writing and brainstorming, and we're a very, very collaborative group.
Good.
Everybody on this team, like,
You're talking about like a group or a team. What team is this that you have? It's your personal team of people?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because like people will kind of say like, right, my production company is 7th Street Productions, which is kind of a joke from when I was a kid. So, I mean, I have a hard time like even calling it 7th Street Productions. I don't know really what else.
I don't know why.
We are
badass. If that's from
cool.
you were a kid, badass.
Well,
keep that.
I was 11 and I got my first camera, and me and my friend who still works with me, Josh Dietrich, who also works in the film industry, he was working in New Orleans for a while with Blumhouse, and he's back working with us. But yeah, we had this camera, and we would just make movies as kids, and didn't know what to. We would make credits on pieces of paper and film it against the wall.
No joke.
And just as a joke, just wrote 7th Street Productions because we both lived on 7th Street.
Oh wow!
Dude,
and then
that's so cool.
In film school, the projects that I did for classes, just as a joke, I brought back 7th Street Productions like it was a real thing, and then it just kind of like kept going.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
I didn't like
badass backstory. You have to keep it.
It's dope.
It's so cool.
I didn't know what else to. I didn't want to come up with something fake. I see a lot of people who like put a lot of thought into it, and to me, it's a little bit. It could be called anything, you know. It doesn't really matter to me. It's kind of just like a representation of like who we are because we've been together for so long, all of us.
Yeah.
But it's tough because like some of the guys who have only really been around for like the last like 3 or 4 years, there's always kind of part of me where it's like I don't want them to feel like they're in something that they don't have ownership over, but we definitely get kind of like lumped together as 7th Street Productions. So it's tough. I mean, I helped get the funding, and I produced a movie for one of the guys on our team, Eric Shebach. He did Exorcism in Utero. And, you know, even though I produced it and it's like all the same people and all the same crew, like I definitely like left the 7th Street Productions logo off his movie just because like I don't know. I kind of wince a little bit when people are like, oh, the 7th Street team. It's like, it's not even like really a real thing. It's more of an idea.
But let me just say that it's your brand though. It is you,
it's gangster,
and what it comes from matters. I mean, if it wasn't for you and your visions that you have to create these
and
things,
you living on 7th
Street with your homies. I mean, that's kind of like the meat of it. Anybody can live on 7th Street that believes in you. So come on over to 7th Street. You know what I mean? What's wrong with that?
I think it's cool as shit.
And people will come and go. They will move in.
Yes.
Move out.
Yeah.
It's still the same street.
They might rent a spot for a minute and then they split. It's fine. But some people might buy the fuck in and hang out on 7th Street for a while.
But you know what? That's gangster shit on 7th Street.
I know. Cool. I almost want to we always talk about like repping it like rappers, right? You know, you got like people are always like, oh, you know, 29th Street, you know, right? You got like Brother Lynch Hung and all those guys. They're always repping their streets. It's like, oh, we've actually got one.
You got one.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's how I knew who you were. Sam was saying, yeah, we got Calvin on the show. I was like 7th Street Productions, Calvin?
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it matters, buddy.
No, it does.
That's cool
It does.
I think it's dope.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's cool as shit.
Cool. You should keep it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
should
I don't
hang on to
want to come up with something because I don't know. It just doesn't feel genuine.
You're an organic guy.
Right.
You're about organic stuff.
Yeah, authentic.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Yeah.
And it matters. It matters what you've done like years and years and years ago. Like Aaron and I and Chuck have been doing movies forever, and our movies are so lame, like back in the day, but we embrace them because they're how we learned, how we grew, and how we got better.
Yeah. I have no shame putting them out there. I show everybody. I don't give a fuck. Well, look at them. It's great. This is how we started.
Yeah. But they're awesome. They're awesome and they're authentic.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're fun, and they're a lot of fun because you're like, God damn, look how back in the day we looked at them.
How far we've come.
Yeah, but at one time we watched them, we're like, this is the shit. We loved them, and then 2 years later, you're like, Jesus Christ, it sucks.
We suck ass.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
But we're getting better.
Yeah.
My favorite part is always sitting there watching them and going, okay, cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cut. Shit.
I know,
it's the
that's
nostalgia of things, though.
Yes.
I mean, if you think about nostalgic things, I collect Garbage Pail Kids, for Christ's sakes. Yeah. Because of the nostalgia.
Yeah.
And they still make them, and I still buy them because they're nostalgic.
Yeah, and that's everybody's
that's
career,
of my
right?
Childhood,
Yeah.
But that's how I think of our movies. It's like it's nostalgic.
It's the same. It's the exact same. Yeah. I totally agree, Sam.
And so I love all of our movies, even like Silent Shadows.
Yeah, they all matter.
Because it has no sound.
Every movie that any filmmaker has ever made matters. It's that step. It's that fucking step. Something changed when you made that one movie. Like, oh shit, I can do sound better. Oh shit, I can do that effect better.
Yes.
Oh shit, that edit is better.
Joe Rogan, you go back to his first one and watch it. He's sitting on his freaking couch in his living room.
It's how it begins. Yeah. It's just the way it all starts.
And it does matter.
Our show started the same fucking way. We had a table between Chuck and I, and you were sitting on the far side of the room.
I was talking in the background.
Yeah. Now we got all these listeners and everybody's watching us, and we're just like, well, I don't know. It doesn't seem any different to me, but it is.
But
right? Because we kept doing it.
It is.
Yeah.
It was their idea. They were going to start it, and they were sitting on one end of each other, and I was in the background, just would not
talking
shut my
shit.
mouth.
Yeah. That's how that's how it is.
That's how I became a part of the show.
That's how it starts. It all
starts somewhere, and it's beautiful how it all starts.
Yeah.
Right?
It
is.
Definitely.
If you embrace that,
you end up liking the older stuff.
Yeah.
Better than the newer stuff.
I do. Yeah. I'm so proud of it. I watch it still to this day, and I'm like, dude, I'm putting that clip up. That clip's no joke. I love it.
And if you look at that stuff compared to where you are now, and you're like, look how much I've grown, how much we've grown, how much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've learned a lot since then. So
and it's so many, and you know what's stupid about filmmaking to me as an editor and a filmmaker, and Calvin will probably totally agree with this. When you're sitting there doing stuff and you've learned all these techniques now, it doesn't feel any harder. It's you just know what to do. You know what you can get away with. Like if someone goes, "Oh, I hear an airplane," you're like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. I can take that out."
Yeah, I feel you there.
Yeah, it's just
but back in the day,
we're like, "Pop, cut! Oh, it's a fucking airplane." We sit there for an hour waiting for these planes to go by, and it doesn't matter. There's so many little stupid things that you can figure out, and the only way you figured those out was it's because you kept making movies and you kept reading stuff and you kept looking at tutorials or figuring out things or speaking to other filmmakers, and they show you something and you're like, oh wow, and then you just get a palette of tools.
There's nothing that beats experience,
easier.
And experience comes from doing things over and over and over and over again. That's how you become a pro.
It's consistency. It's just being consistent.
Keep doing it.
Yep.
If you want to do anything, you can do anything.
Yep.
Just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah. And then there's filmmakers out there, Calvin, that end up getting for some reason they got a shit ton of money and they can hire all these great people who've gone through the ringer.
Yeah,
and then they come on and they make a movie. Well, no, and then they make a movie and it's great because they hired all these people because they had all this money. And then there's people like us that are like, we ain't got there. I got $12. I could pay your toll, and then, to get over here. And then you just make what you can make, and you do it all on your own. And yeah.
But that's better to me.
There's something about it, right?
Yeah, I enjoy that a lot more.
I do too.
I think that if I got into like a big situation, especially that has like a lot of that like administrative bloat to it, and there is kind of like this like expectation of the plane flying over and everybody like loses their mind and you have like no control over the situation. You can't just go like, guys, it'll be fine,
right?
If they're concentrated on a slight rumbling in the background, we got a bigger problem with this movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Or or a small continuity error. It's like we got bigger issues if that's
correct.
If that's gonna hold us up. I think that I wouldn't do as well in that situation as I do.
I completely agree. And that's why I think people like you are pros. I mean,
Yes,
you
because-
know what you can do and what you can't do. And it's your job to make your cast and crew realize that and have a feeling you do. And then you make your movies. And that's it. You get them out. You fucking make them. You're happy with them. Some more than others because of the subgenre you said earlier that you really enjoy that maybe Pillow Party wasn't. But I want to know why that isn't one of your top ones, because I mean that was
We
it was
loved it.
actually
We
it was a
thought it
good
was
movie,
great.
dude. You did a good job. But where are you? I get it, but where are you?
It's growing on me, and it's also tough when like something first comes out. But we've done something in between that's going to be coming out soon, and you know, I at first I always say, well, because I've been editing it, I just hate the movie while I'm editing it. I never like it. I'm like,
I'm completely opposite.
Oh yeah, completely
like-
opposite. Aaron loves everything.
I'm like, this is the best we've ever done. Every time.
So you said you're lost in the edit. So is it because you didn't have enough to play with in the edit? Did you not get enough of the shots you maybe wanted that you're thinking?
No.
I don't have that extra puzzle piece.
No,
Do you compare?
I don't know. I mean, like this last one that I was editing, I liked it. By the end, I was like, wow, I don't hate it as much as Pillow Party, certainly.
Oh my god, I love Pillow Party.
I don't-
Reagan on Pillow Party.
I don't know what it was. I think maybe I enjoy more like supernatural stuff,
Okay.
more like kind of cosmic horror.
Yeah.
And I'm out.
And you know, this like Pillow Party was something that went through like a couple of different changes too. I had kind of a different idea for maybe what it was going to be early on. It went through all these different changes, and then kind of by the end, it was one of those things where at first I kind of thought that, oh, maybe we'll do something darker, and then as we got closer, it was like too much fun to just not also be kind of campy with. So to me, it's just kind of like all of us having fun instead of like trying to make like a horror movie. I don't know, and it's not
about it though.
It's not really my subgenre.
Okay.
Like I said, I wouldn't rule it out, but slashers to me are a little, there's a little less creativity.
I get it.
So yeah, and I was gonna say, because like in the supernatural, like even same thing like with the thriller, it's almost like whodunit. How does that work? What are they scared of? Why are they scared of it? And with the slasher, you're like, here comes the bad guy. That's wrong. That's what's happening.
Yeah, and then there's like some elements.
No mystique.
There were some elements that I tried to like throw in from other projects that I had started that I thought maybe might work, and I don't think they did, like the whole aspect with the coin. In the movie.
No, I liked it though, but I didn't understand where it went. But I liked it still. And
it's like, because I had this other idea a long time ago about doing this story about this like coin that people kind of give to each other like as a good deed.
It was
and
good,
like the
I
movie would
the
go back in time, and you would see all these people doing something nice for somebody, and it's like I think I wanted to call it like the quality of generosity or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like this
Kinda
old
like
idea,
paying it forward but backwards.
right? And like tracking it backwards, and then I kind of thought, there's like this idea of this humanity, and the main character is struggling with like feelings of guilt and like wanting to be a good person. So maybe I'll introduce this object that like, shows that she's a good person, and she like believes in it, and then at the end she throws it away, and it's like, it doesn't quite work, and it feels a little pointless to the story.
No, I got it though, and I grabbed onto. I love the idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm like that. I think like that too.
I'm with him though on the supernatural thing.
Not me.
I've always been there. When we made the Outrider, the Outrider is supernatural. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
These entities that are beyond our world that you have so much freedom with. You can
so much. Yes. I can do anything with that.
Anything
Colors can be really weird.
Yep.
Our lighting guy, Tim Coyle, he like hates me because I love this specific gel that actually I'll credit Eric and his camera guy on Conjure or on Exorcism for finding. There's this gel called Congo Blue.
Okay.
It's really, really pretty, but it cuts down like the output of the light like crazy.
Okay.
And
like makes it look dark, like
it,
nighttime. Or?
It just like the brightness. You got to have a lot of lights with those Congo blues on.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
And on the last movie on Insidious, I made that the color of moonlight, and it's weird. It almost looks like black light.
Yeah.
Like a black light color.
Okay.
And we would like shine that through the windows. And I love like on a supernatural movie, if an actor or anyone says, what is that? Like that's, that is not a natural looking blue. It's like, well, we're talking about a movie with
demons and shit. Yeah, you don't know what's going on. I get it.
There's a whole thing, a whole spiel in that movie that tracks back to the Big Bang.
Okay.
And the character actually uses the phrase, oh God, now I can't even remember. It's my own script.
Don't worry about it. I do it all the time.
She talks about.
I write this shit, just can't remember it.
I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
She says 16.6 millennium, which is not a unit of measurement that I think any scientists actually believe exists.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's a real word. So it's like we're talking about billions of years. We're talking about a millennium. I can do whatever I want with the color.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Slasher movie, not so much.
It's harder to do. Yeah.
It's harder.
It's more grounded.
It's not harder though.
It's
because
grounded
you have
though. I mean,
more options. Like you can do anything literally and play it off as.
You can. It's just It's just tricky. It's tricky because
I don't like sci-fi at all. So I'm.
Well, it's not sci-fi. It's supernatural.
Something I
it's
don't
it's
like.
not sci-fi though. It's supernatural.
Yeah.
It's different.
I like the excuse of, this is like a different dimension, man. This is not real at all.
Well, you can certainly explain away a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, you can. But,
slasher movies, it's like, you see some reviews and they're like, oh, I liked it, but like, how in the world is she able to like cut someone in half with one swing?
With
and
one
it's
swing.
Now I've got to like justify all these like realistic things.
You ever seen those knives on those fucking just something sharp like that?
It's just sharp as shit.
Yeah, but if you've got Jason Voorhees doing it and he's a supernatural being because he's dead already, he's got this ability and power, then people buy it all day long.
All day.
I totally understand. I totally get what you're saying. I know. And that's
throw that element into a horror movie, honestly, that will explain a lot or excuse a lot, whatever you want to put
and that's the difference between like Scream and like Halloween. Why does Michael Myers not die? I don't know, but whatever he does, we buy because we know he should have died a long time ago. That's the supernatural part. Yeah, that's the fun stuff. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But that
gives
makes
you more
sense.
options to play with things and make it bigger and better and see what kind of creativity you can come up with because that's the fun of it. Right?
Yeah. But the cool thing what he's saying is that, and that's why he doesn't like Pillow Party as much. It's too grounded for you. You want to be able to expand your.
Honestly, that's why I liked it.
I know
other people like it. So I mean, it's been reviewed pretty decently considering everything that it went through, and it's hopefully it looks like going to get picked up by this other company.
That's great,
buddy.
I mean,
it's not not up to me.
Yeah, you had a great acting crew.
Like it.
Yeah, everybody that you had in the film did a great job. They worked their asses off.
And everybody's great. It's not has nothing to do with anything other than I think just like my personal taste.
Yeah.
In
the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be like if we did Say Goodbye, Chuck. It's not my taste, but I will make your faith-based film because you've helped me make all my shit all the time.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. All right. Well, what are you working on now, Calvin? What's your next project?
Yeah. So actually, I have an acting gig coming up that I was cast in. I'm also kind of helping on. More of I'm going to help them out with some of the distribution aspects of it.
Okay.
Because it doesn't look like they really have a plan for it. there's a movie called Outer Darkness. It's a sci-fi film. They built like really cool sets for it. So I'm basically gearing up for that.
Awesome.
And then Insidious should be released probably sometime this summer.
Okay.
And right now, I'm still kind of in that process of working out like the deal and the details, but they really liked Winnie the Pooh, right? So they said, find something that is popular, something in the public domain that's popular that maybe we can also make some money off of. And just through brainstorming, I was like, well, what about the Boogeyman?
Hell yeah.
There's also a Boogeyman movie coming out.
Yeah.
Why don't we get, instead of like trailing these trends, like there's been a million Conjuring ripoffs and Amityville ripoffs, why don't we try to get out in front of one and do a Boogeyman film? And also this kind of gives us a good opportunity to rope in more of the crew to be a little bit more creative. The movie's a little bit of like a quasi anthology in a way, where it's about a doctor at a mental institution who has these 5 subjects that all have this similar delusion. Obviously the Boogeyman, and some of the movie is like their backstory as to how they became patients. So we kind of came up with the characters, and then it was like a good moment to get the whole team involved and get everyone to kind of write their version of like what happens to these patients. And then everyone will kind of get an opportunity to, make some big decisions or work, like as a director, work closer with the team. I'm just like a big proponent of team work and being together as a team, and nobody really feeling like they're not heard. I mean, that's when we do our best work, is when everybody kind of feels like they can give a suggestion, and we really try to do that. So I think that it makes you work a lot harder. I mean, as someone who, like, I also worked as a manager in a sales office, and I kind of had always felt like, if people are able to make decisions, they'll work a lot harder.
You're right.
For you.
I agree. It's called empowerment. Empowerment. If you empower people to know that they can, you use their gifts and say those things to you without any kind of backlash, they're invested more. And that's all that happens. We have the same philosophy when we make films. So everybody's got a voice, and it all matters. The more minds you get together, always makes something better. It always does. Whether or not, it's not like when I write a script, or if Chuck writes a script, or if Sam writes a script, that shit changes all the time. I'm not stuck on that thing. I could give a fuck. It's a foundation. It gives us a starting point. Let's see what your gifts can do with what we created here. And every time, Calvin, and I know you know it, they bring something, you're like, dude, that's way better than we wrote.
That's way better. Yeah,
you got to do that.
And it gives everyone some ownership over it too, which I think is good.
Yeah. So if we succeed, we all did it. If we all fail, you fucked up too. That's how I look at it. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like keeping like a close knit and like growing together, like internally, you know?
Absolutely. Totally agree. Philosophy's the same, brother.
And also just being friends is like a very underrated portion of this business. And I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, that doesn't matter to me. This is business, yada, yada. I don't really care. Like when we make movies, we live together on set. We're there for 2 weeks straight, living together, bunking together, sleeping in the same room. And I don't ever want anyone to feel like they can't make a certain joke or say, you know what I mean? It's we're all just friends here. We all
friends are your family.
Yep.
Family.
That's right. We all love each other. Like, nobody's going anywhere. Everybody can kind of feel free to like make a mistake or fuck up or, And then we end up all hanging out with each other. So nobody's like rigid on set. As an actor, definitely you'll work on like a set where everybody's a hired gun. Nobody really knows each other, and everyone's a little too rigid to even talk, right?
Yeah, it's kind of awkward.
Like, oh God, if I mention Elvis, right? Somebody's gonna be mad about that,
right?
You know, we're not exclusive. We always say like we're willing to work with anybody, especially if we have the money to pay you. We're not sure that people are going to enjoy working with us, because we're very like, you know, we're just a bunch of friends, you know. Nobody really has to worry about it being like, I don't know.
I get it.
Traditional workspace.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I have the hardest time lately because I have a lot of people, you know, pitching ideas and saying, hey, Aaron, you know, with the Horrorverse, what if we do this or that? You know, I don't want to step on your toes, but, you know, and I'm like, dude, step.
Step. Yeah.
You know, convincing people that it's okay to say something.
Honestly, though,
it's so hard because they're so used to having somebody like backhand them or some shit. Yeah. For opening their mouth, and I'm like, dude, you're when we started talking and you were going to be a part of this project, that means you're a part of this project. So please feel free.
The best ideas come from a group of people. Not just one person, a group of people.
But getting them to feel okay with it is the hard part. Like to get them to actually feel like, oh, he means this or she means this. It's so hard to do. They just don't seem to be convinced by you telling them it's okay.
Not the traditional way.
It's not traditional. That's the tricky part.
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, we kind of had it beat into us that there's like this kind of like traditional roles that you're supposed to follow, and actually things are better when you have all this like weird,
when it's untraditional.
Like I always use the phrase like administrative bloat. There's just like like an administrator for every person, making sure that nobody's talking out of turn to anyone else, and I this is my wishful thinking, but I kind of think that like as we transition to more video on demand stuff, as you know, you even for music, right? You don't need to be in LA anymore. You can be in Toronto, and you can put stuff out there, and you can still get famous. That a lot of that kind of those traditional roles will start to fall away, and I kind of feel like, you know, the drive-ins did it to the movie palaces, and VHS did it to the movie palaces again, and to the summer blockbuster, and now it's like VOD has kind of come in. It's the Wild West again, and it's like it's the groups of like the weird little young gun bohemians that are gonna like benefit from this.
I agree.
Well, they're going to change the way that it's done, and the way that it's done isn't necessarily the right way.
It always evolves.
It always the best way.
I always say it to Breaking Glass, you know, when we're talking about making more of these cheap horror movies, I always tell them, you know, the two of the biggest money makers this last year in the horror genre was Terrifier 2, right? Made for $500,000, still a crap ton of money, but you know, comparatively very small. And then that Skinamarink movie that was made for $15,000,
$15,000,
you know,
you
know, it's the Wild West now, and
people
it's like
are going
they're
away from the traditional shit, the basic Hollywood stuff. They are.
Nobody wants to go.
No one cares anymore
to the
about
theater.
That shit.
Yeah, you know.
No, it matters more. I think people are more impressed by the less money that you spend on something, and the greater it is with the smaller budget is more impressive to people than how big can you go? How big can your budget be? How big? I mean, I think that like the amount of money that like big Hollywood movies spend is like, I think that it's getting to the point where it's outrageous, right? Where it's like, you know, just using it as an example, like, you know, the new Little Mermaid movie is not going to make a bunch of money. People are going to hate it just because, like, that's just like the state, you know, people just want to hate on those movies. And they spent enough money to like rebuild a section of a major metropolitan city.
Right.
It's outrageous now.
And you have a population of homeless people with nowhere to go, and you're spending all this money on Little Mermaid kind of shit. Like, people are tired of that. They're tired.
Right. That was already fine. The movie was already good. Nobody's going to like it. It's going to be forgotten. It's getting outrageous now.
Well, things are getting so expensive that everyone's looking towards thrifty ways of doing things, and that's more impressive to people than the money.
It is. I agree.
It is.
I agree.
It is, because what you can do with a little amount of money versus what you can do with a huge amount of money. I mean, okay, you can do anything with a huge amount of money, so big deal.
It's going to get hit harder with critics. You got to have something super special.
But if you can do something with no money, and you can do amazing things with zero budget,
they'll always add that in there. The reviewers are that in. They're like, this movie is great and blah blah blah, and it only was $15,000 to make.
Because it matters. I mean, honestly, if you can do a lot with a little. You're amazing.
That's right.
You're amazing. You're crafty.
And what was our motto when we started? Make a cinematic experience with no money.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
That's it. That's what we've been doing. So when our crowdfunder doesn't go well, it doesn't stop us.
No.
We just keep making it the way we're going to fucking make it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
can you do more with more money? Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
But what can you do with no money?
And that shows what kind of artist you fucking are.
That shows what kind of artist you are.
And learning how to stretch that money. I mean, at this point, right, if someone came in and gave me like $100,000, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, we could stretch that. We could stretch that really far. And to be honest, I mean, I think that I would just pay people better. You know?
That's pretty much it, right?
You always want to pay people to help you.
That's it. That's all I would do. I'd be like, well, I don't need any more cameras and shit. We don't need any more gear. I can pretty much do all these other things. Maybe we'll get a better sound guy than I am.
Let's get a good caterer. You know, that would be my thing.
Let's get some good food up in here.
Yeah. Maybe pay for some better locations. Other than that, that's it. But mostly we're like, we can always find somewhere to film. More days.
The real challenge, though, is what can you make with nothing? What can you make with as little as possible?
Well, see, I don't even know if that's the challenge anymore. And that's what's interesting. To me, it's like, the challenge is like, what would we do if we had money? What would we do if we get money? I'm so used to not having money that making movies with no money is easy.
Yeah. I mean,
it is.
You know, we have team meetings. We had one recently, and we were kind of like, you know, because we're always trying to get a little bit more money for the next movie from the distribution company. And a lot of us, you know, are kind of like, you know, we might even have more fun if we just did movies at the same price, but just did more of them.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
we get the same money at the end of the day, but kind of these like rapid fire cheapo ones are almost, I mean, not even almost, they're just more fun. They sound more fun to make rather than leveraging our name for $70,000.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's there's a model there that Jay Horton did. I don't know if you know who that is, but he did the same thing. You know, you get a lot of movies out there and you make a lot of them, especially ones that you want to make. And you just get them out.
You have fun doing it.
And you have fun doing it. And next thing you know, now you have a catalog of films that are making money every month. They're all making something. Yeah. You know, that matters. And then you never know when they're going to hit. He had movies that he made like 10, 15 years ago that all of a sudden blew up later.
Right.
You don't know when they're going to hit. You have no idea. Yeah. They have a shelf life. These indie films do.
And those can be your catalyst to make other stuff. I mean, those can build you a foundation to make what you want to make.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. I just that's the model I like, and I'm glad you're kind of like thinking that way, because I mean, you slam movies out. You're making these movies. You're doing a good job. I mean, after a few years, you've got all these films out. That's more than we got. You know, we're trying hard here. This is the first year we've actually got a budget for a documentary. Sam's got that. You know what? Yeah. And budgeting that thing was very difficult because she's got a lot of money, and the fun kind of left, didn't it? It did a little bit.
Because you got to focus on putting the money in the right places.
Yeah.
And honestly, the fun was when you didn't have any money and you were.
That's all right.
I mean, I'm not saying that this documentary isn't fun to make, because that's absolutely
it's another
incorrect,
layer to it.
But the money is a whole nother ballpark.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's much more complicated figuring out, you know, now suddenly you've got to determine what people are worth rather than I've always loved the aspect, right? When you have like $30,000, when you have like 35 grand, and you come to people after the budget and you're like, this is what I've got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're clearly worth more than this, but like, this is it. There's nothing left. If you want to like look at it, this is what we got to pay you.
Right.
Is much better than if you had $100,000 and you're like,
yeah,
$250 a day,
right?
You know?
Yeah. And what you said too is like, what are people worth?
Yeah.
That was one of the dilemmas we had.
It
like,
is a dilemma.
how do you justify this person? You know the amount of work they're going to do and the amount of gear they have that they're bringing to the project. What would that be worth compared to this person over here doing this one thing?
It's so
and then
hard.
you got to kind of dictate that and justify it, and then have that conversation with them.
Right.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And then
It's
you're
not easy.
asking someone to basically help you out and work for less than they're worth, which is hard to do when you know somebody's got the skills and you know, it's hard.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's not easy to approach someone and say, hey, I only have this much. Can you help me out?
And not everybody's like me, because I want to do this anyway, so I'll make movies all day long, no matter what, for no money. I don't care.
Okay, but don't say that because you're going to have people knocking down our door.
I know. If they want me to edit something, they'll be like, I'll give you $10. I'm like, dude, that movie's no joke. I'll edit it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I love it. It's fun to me. It's just fun. It's a great puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is fun, But deciding someone's worth, that's so hard. That is so hard. And I mean, from actors to anyone working with you on a project, it is hard. It is very, very hard. And I found it hard because I was trying to figure out, like, what am I worth as a director of a movie? Like, what am I worth?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No clue.
And I had no idea.
I love it.
So I basically put in, this is how I did it, you guys. I'm not lying. I put in what I thought would be the extra money that it would cost. Like the taxes plus the extra plus this plus that. So basically I said nothing for myself, but I put in an amount for myself, but that was
so you could pay everything else that you might have missed later.
Same. Yeah. Same.
Right? Yeah. I mean, honestly, because it's you are doing what you want to do, and when you're having fun and doing what you want to do, that's priceless.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially when it's like, oh, here's some free money to go make your movie.
I mean, even if if I can buy dinner tonight, I'm good.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just start like slashing stuff out of my pay all the time.
I'm just like,
this is whatever.
I'll just take that on mine. Yeah.
Pond 5 music. All right, that's just from out of my pocket.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I'll just take it out of mine.
Yep.
Yeah. Constant.
I really want this effect. I'll pay for it.
Right.
Yeah. We need that piece of stock footage, but I don't want. I'm gonna go to Pixels. I'm not gonna go pay for fucking iStock. Fuck that. I'll find something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally.
These are the dilemmas, right?
I'm with you. I was talking to somebody recently about the amount of money they spent on stock footage for a film that I'm going to be coloring for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was like, "Do you think we're going to be able to keep that if we chop this movie up?" And I'm like, "We will keep it no matter what because $4,000 of stock footage is ridiculous."
It's insane.
I'm not. Yeah, that's. It
well,
is what it is.
And then you want to see, am I making movies or should I just go out and make stock footage for people? Because I mean, that's some gang of money right there.
that's definitely something that I should be exploring.
Same.
Me too.
Like in Pillow Party, we had that interior of the plane. Yeah. And Raptor Effects Studio said, well, whatever you do, use this plane. So I had that phone call and I was like, okay, we'll switch it to the plane. And then I had to get footage of a plane landing. I live near PDX. And I was like, oh, fuck that. I'll just buy the stock footage. And then it's like $60.
Yes.
I know.
You're like, what the
fuck?
fuck?
I just take the time.
For a 2-second clip? Fuck you.
For a 2-second clip of this plane, this like really nice shot of a plane landing on a runway.
Yeah. And you searched everywhere for something else to make it work.
Oh yeah.
Sound
it's like, will anything else work? Anything else here?
Exactly. Down to the sound effects. Like you think about okay, I'm paying for footsteps. Can't I just go outside and walk in the gravel and make
the Foley's even
like,
better.
Honestly.
Yeah.
We're in the wrong business.
We do a lot of Foley ourselves.
Yeah.
But then when we don't, it's like to me it's like painfully obvious. That's an art in and of itself.
Right.
You know, I kind of just felt like we got to a point where the dialogue mixing has gotten better. Like in Pillow Party, it's clearly like not quite there. It's got these like major holes in the dialogue mix. And this last movie we did was like the first time where not just us collectively, but Breaking Glass has also said, okay, there it is. There's the dialogue mix. That sounds good. You know, because that's a whole other ballpark. Sound effects and
it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
It's a whole different thing.
And I do that all by myself.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of tackle it as a team, but yeah, I mean, it's taken years to figure out how to actually use Logic Pro to mix this fucking audio, you know.
It's hard.
I haven't even gotten there yet.
The sound is
it's
hard.
rough. It's rough. It's
you
rough.
get the vision down, the visuals down, and then you got the sound. That's a whole nother.
It's filmmaking, bro.
Yeah, that's filmmaking.
Calvin,
it's amazing talking to you. You're so much fun to talk to, and
Thank you so much.
You think like we do, and we love you.
Yeah, brother.
It has been so much
fun.
Love you too. We could talk to you forever, but we gotta go at some point.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, we've been an hour and a half. Oh shit, it's been an hour and a half.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's good.
We try to keep it around an hour, but obviously.
No, brother.
We get excited. We talk to people who are like us.
Yeah. Congratulations, buddy, on what you're doing.
Thank
Seriously.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, keep
Thank you so much.
Keep working.
Thank you for having me on the show.
We're
for sure.
For you.
Fuck yeah.
And I don't know. Check us out. 7th Street Productions. We got a new film coming out every month. So, you know, follow us. Find us on Facebook and YouTube.
Absolutely.
Great.
Chuck, close us out, bro.
Calvin, thank you for joining us down around the reel. Thank you for hanging out and talking all things movies, production, and what we can and cannot do with moolah, cash, money. If you have some, we always have Indiegogos going, whether it be for them or for us. So please, if you want to spend some money, throw it our way, because we want to make some fun shit, and we just can't do it for anything. And everybody agrees that we want to give everybody better food. So everybody appreciates a bag of chips and a water or a soda, but sometimes somebody wants some fiery Cheetos, because Lay's is boring after 17 times of eating it. That's all I'm saying. But the biggest thing about what we all agree on is that if you want to collaborate with people, that's the best way to make the best product. So, as I always say, in everything I always do, join together. And remember, everybody out there, think hard, because you're thinking anyway.
We'll see everybody later.
Bye.
For those of you that want to be a guest on Around the Reel, please email Sam at aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
Not Messenger. Do not message Aaron on Messenger, because then he has to send you a message that says email Sam at aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
How come they can't just message me again?
Because nobody wants to fucking talk to you.
Can anybody reach out? That's an artist, filmmaker, actor?
If you're an artist of any kind, we want to hear from you.
But we are going to vet the crap out of you.
We don't care if you make millions of dollars in Hollywood or if you're just beginning your career in the art industry. We don't care. So everybody that wants to be on Around the Reel, yes, we want you.
That's aroundthereal253@gmail.com.